Coming up next on The Voice of Alabama Politics, Strange runs for Senate. Also, the V-Team takes a look at toxic land deals. And reporters are wondering how to cover the new Lewd Governor Bentley.
Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens.
Listen, mister, I'm getting awful tired of your...
I'm getting tired of your gas. Now jerk that pistol and go to work. I said throw down, boy. Oh. You gonna do something or just stand there and bleed?
That's the way I've always done it. Of course, I'm your Huckleberry. All this and much, much more coming up next on The V.
The Voice of Alabama Politics with your host, Bill Brett. Now, the #1 political show in Alabama, The V.
Welcome to The Voice of Alabama Politics, where we tackle the tough issues so you have the hard facts. I'm your host, Bill Britt, and as always, I'm joined by the V-Team. Welcome.
How you doing?
You know, you would think, Jack, that we would have left all the turkeys behind at Thanksgiving. But Governor Bentley is going to be remembered as the biggest turkey to ever lead Alabama. The new information coming out of Ray Lewis, we see a Lewd, Rude, Bentley. I mean, Susan, it's 49 pages of just shocking material.
It's just jam-packed with everything from him ordering Viagra in Diane's name, and by the way, she did intercept one of those packages, to, you know, the shenanigans with Spencer Collier, the air flights that Rebecca Mason was on, the car rides. It's just jam-packed, full of stuff.
Yeah, everybody needs to just go. We can't even begin to say everything that's in it.
I was glued to my computer.
It was the best thing I've read since I used to be hooked on Days of Our Lives.
Hey, don't forget the footnotes. Don't forget the footnotes.
Jack,
there was a little malice in there, y'all, and y'all know that.
That's true.
I mean,
that doesn't mean it's not juicy.
I think Bentley's acted like a big fool during all this problem that he's had. But a lot of what Ray Lewis wrote was just salacious stuff that makes people want to, go to the next page. But I'm not sure there was a lot of criminality.
No, but there was. That's the thing. Like, okay, so just take the ordering Viagra.
At least you can believe it.
Right. If these facts are true, ordering Viagra in his wife's name, presumably taking that prescription, that's illegal. Opening someone else's mail, that's illegal. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in there.
Falsifying flight manifests or anything like that. That's against FAA rules.
I think, and I agree with Jack, that it is salacious and done so on purpose. But like Beth said, doesn't mean it's not true. The one thing that I do find has the ring of truth is when he says it was a physical affair. Because this nonsense that this man would leave his wife of 50 years, destroy his family, destroy his reputation, all for feeling a girl up over the phone. I mean, that doesn't happen.
But you've got to also give Ray Lewis credit here in that what he's doing is also showing state of mind of Bentley, showing what the circumstances were surrounding these alleged crimes or, lies.
Yeah, what were you going to say, Jack?
I mean, like the manifest, like putting Rebecca Mason on the state airplane, but writing down the passenger's name as Jennifer Artis, his press secretary.
Meanwhile, she was driving to the events.
I don't know if there's some kind of federal law about that or whatever, but
I believe it's against FAA rules.
Yes, FAA.
I think where he gets into trouble really is this deal that he did with Spencer Collier, where he used law enforcement, he used state resources to just try to destroy a political enemy. The other thing is, they point out here that Stan Stabler did know about the texting. He was the one who found it, and Stabler's said publicly, no, I'm not the guy.
He said publicly the very day that Spencer Collier had the press conference and Bentley followed, Stan Stabler got up that day to the press, said, I never saw a text message. And we suspect that's not true.
All right, at some point, you have to say Ray Lewis is a liar because he sat by there and he watched all this happen. He didn't report it, and it's if he thinks it's criminal behavior, he had a duty as a law enforcement officer to report it, which is what Spencer did.
Well, you know why I think this comes
You're right.
out now is because 2 months ago he sat in front of a grand jury, and
Damn right.
he had to spill beans in front of Matt Hart, Luther Strange, and Alice Martin, and this is like his lawyer goes, "Hey boy, you got a lawsuit here."
And I have to point out here, one thing that's very clear is that Spencer Collier, Ray Lewis, and all of these people were pointing out to Bentley that using the car for his girlfriend, using the plane, this was illegal, was going to get him in trouble, and his response to that was, well, I am the commander-in-chief.
Yeah,
so
and
Bentley knew he was breaking the law, he was being warned all along, but he wouldn't
Well, I don't
listen.
know that he knew he was breaking the law.
But I think though, Susan, like the point here is that like it speaks to integrity. And it speaks to everybody knew that there was something off when he's saying it wasn't a physical affair. Everybody's red flags and spidey senses went off. But if you are a person of integrity, you either own up when you make a mistake or you have sense enough to not make those mistakes in the first place. And that's what all this comes down to, is it's casting more light into the fact that what Governor Bentley might have done, he might not have been truthful with the people about it. And that's
and you know, and I think the ones that saw it, I think Ray Lewis is a good guy, I really do. But you know, they were caught in a catch-22. He should have done what Spencer did, but none of them wanted to be the person that outed Robert Bentley.
But look at what it
Nobody
got Spencer. It got him fired. It got him cut from his insurance. It ruined his life. He can't find a consulting job now to save anything. When you've got a family to feed and a roof to keep over your head, how do you put yourself in that position?
And that many years of retirement built up as well.
Well, and you know, he thought it was he looked at him like a father, and I don't know how many of us would really actually be willing to turn in dad, but it eventually happened. We got about a minute and 30 seconds here. Cooper Shattuck, a Bentley protege, has now resigned from the University of Alabama, a position that Bentley got him. And he's resigned, Jack, and he also has another legacy, and it's called the girlfriend.
Girlfriend fund.
Oh, yeah.
Ace
the
Gov.
Ace Gov. Well, I don't know much about Cooper Shattuck at all, you know.
Well, I mean, because he was
He
leading.
could have resigned for any number of reasons.
He was leading the ACE Gov and all this, but remember, like Bill said, there's a grand jury going on right now. We're seeing the cards coming on the table, and Governor Bentley was going to try to explain it away and didn't manage to do it either.
And Cooper Shattuck was mentioned in the Ray Lewis document as well as reaching out to Ray Lewis in hopes that Ray Lewis might be able to get a job at the university. And according to Ray Lewis, as long as he kept his story straight about Bentley.
Well, the other thing about Cooper Shattuck is he's been over the beach property.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, he
the
has
Gulf
been
State
the guy
Project.
that's been the state park guy. I mean, that was his real assignment. And we don't know if there's any, we know there's some craziness in there. We don't know if there's anything illegal, but back to Beth's issue. That Montgomery grand jury got a bunch of information. We don't know if they're still meeting, but we haven't heard they're not meeting. So
But I think the fallout we're seeing, I think it's directly related to that.
usually when the grand jury is meeting, people get scared, they do stupid things. We're going to leave it right there. You're watching the voice of Alabama politics. We'll be right back with more news and analysis.
Did Diane Bentley really intercept the Viagra?
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
I wonder if she went, what's up? Not Robert.
I would have switched them all out with laxatives is what I would have done.
Brilliant idea.
Azia Medical Spa offers a relaxing experience using customized skincare treatments and full line of physician-grade products with professionals that can assist you in determining which treatment options will best help you achieve your desired results. Azia's massage therapies are popular for rejuvenation and relaxation, as well as relief of tired, aching, and sore muscles. Voted the best medical spa in Birmingham for 3 years in a row, visit AziaMedicalSpa.com to schedule your appointment.
Maybe he's really focused.
Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping.
Welcome back to the V, the voice of Alabama politics. I want to go back to a little bit of this Bentley thing because of the ridiculousness. Yeah, the Bentley turkey. On Thanksgiving Day, after the Ray Lewis bombshell hit.
That was on Wednesday.
Yeah, that was on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Thursday. Bentley, Thursday morning, before people can even get their dressing out, much less have a cocktail, he emails them and says he's going to have a conference call on Friday to explain his side of the story. Beth, what happened next?
He decided to not have a conference call after all, so a little bait and switch there. But I mean, think about being a lawmaker in this position. You know, you've got Thanksgiving off, you're trying to spend time with your family, do a little Black Friday shopping, get ready for the Iron Bowl. And the governor is now wanting you to get on the phone and explain away his latest indiscretions or alleged indiscretions. I would be furious.
Well, you know, we got the email. We got a copy of it Friday morning as well. I don't know why the governor saw fit to send it to us, but we were appreciative of it.
Yeah, right.
So, you know, Friday morning we put it out there and put everybody's name, put the number to call in. And
Yeah.
there were 12 journalists we heard Jack sitting on the phone waiting for that conference call to begin.
Ready.
And I said, and somebody called me and said, "You messed it all up." I said, "I'm the one who gave you your assignment."
Well, you know, if I'd gotten the memo, I wouldn't have been mad. I just wouldn't have got. If I'd been a lawmaker, I just wouldn't have gotten on the phone call.
I have to wonder. I'm sorry, Jack.
No, that's all. I mean, I just wouldn't have done it. And because let's face it. Can we believe anything that comes out of his mouth anymore?
No.
That's the tragic part.
He is a congenital liar.
Yeah. Well, you had to bring up genitals, didn't you? But,
oh, great. Wow.
The generals, attorney generals.
Yeah, attorney generals. And speaking of attorney generals, I have to wonder if that wouldn't have violated the Open Meetings Act there at some
It's
point.
possible.
Yeah, I don't think you can do that.
The thing that was just so outrageous to me is that he thought, and I talked to several reps and representatives, that they should drop everything on their holiday to listen to him.
And it's
BS.
going to be lies.
Yeah.
It's going to be BS. We know this. It always is.
He said that Ray Lewis was all misstatements and misunderstandings. It matches too closely with everything.
Why don't they just let Rebecca send out the press release talking the whole thing down?
It all smacks of Becky.
And he's so arrogant that she's still over there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no light bulb that goes off in his head about this.
I think it probably did go off and go, and now it's just all dark.
Just white noise and static in that head.
A little smoke coming up from the filament, you know.
I want to talk about this next thing. You know, we have Senator Jeff Sessions is going to be the next Attorney General. We're all fairly sure. Congratulations on that. I think it's a good pick. Beth may disagree.
I go with the good riddance instead of the congratulations.
But that's also opened up the Senate seat. Luther Strange, who's, you know, some people say stands a snowball's chance in hell of being appointed by Bentley, has announced he's going to run for Senate no matter what. Jack, this kind of upends the governor's race a little bit.
It does throw an enormous monkey wrench into this because everybody thought all the polls that have been done last year or two always asked the question, would you vote for Luther Strange for governor?
Yeah.
I think Luther wanted to be in the Senate all along, but, you know, you're going to get taking Shelby out on a gurney. And so, I mean, there's no, you know, so there was no path for him.
No.
So he'll run in 2018, and it would be kind of disingenuous to go and beg for it from Bentley, the guy he's investigating.
Well, I think he would need to recuse himself from that investigation if he did want Bentley to appoint him. That way there's no allegation of a conflict. But, you know, I'm curious, though. I'm curious with Roy Moore's situation, if part of Luther Strange running for the Senate is because I'd be surprised to hear Roy Moore's not polling well as governor.
He is, from what I understand, polling well. But in Luther's case, he would, I would say, if I were advising him, I would say I would wait and run in 2018 because historically in Alabama, anyone that was appointed to a position in D.C., a senator or representative, was defeated in the next election.
Well, we did hear some new polls, Beth, and Roy Moore right now is about 28 points above the next tier guy with Luther out of the race. So, I mean, it's pretty dramatic.
I think that's probably more name ID. I don't think that many people in Alabama love Roy Moore.
Have you not seen all the Roy Moore was right bumper stickers in the state?
Come up to Etowah County sometime.
Well, I mean, you get in the rural. Of course, there's a lot of time between now and the race, and we hear that Roy Moore wants to be Attorney General. That's fine with me.
Okay.
I mean, Roy Moore and Matt Hart would give all the bad guys a lot of heartburn.
Ooh,
and take them
boy.
to church while they're at it.
Let's buy stock in antacids, right?
Yeah, right. No kidding. Well, I just think it's pretty interesting that that's how it did. And this thing with Sessions' seat is still wide open. One of the things we did look at was the last time the governor appointed anyone to a vacant Senate seat was when Senator Jim Allen from Gadsden passed away, and he appointed his wife.
Marianne Allen, yeah.
And that was his second wife. His first wife died. The interesting thing to me about that is, Tom Coker was the chief of staff back then, Jack, and Tom was telling me the other day that Governor Wallace called him right after his death and said, who do you think Senator Allen would have wanted to take his seat? I thought that was interesting the way Wallace handled it.
Well, apparently Wallace didn't listen to Tom. I don't think Tom was a fan of Marianne Allen.
What he told him, he said, well, who do you think the governor, he asked Tom, he said, who do you think should take his place? And he said, well, Mrs. Allen has told me, and that's what he told me, Mrs. Allen has told me that her husband would want her to take the position.
But if we're letting Jeff Sessions pick his replacement, I think we see Scott Beeson go into the Senate.
I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that.
I don't have a problem with that at all. I
disagree.
But his wife is not going to go for that. That's not going to happen.
But I thought it was interesting. Again, he appointed Mrs. Allen because he thought that's what the other man wanted to do, and I think that's certainly Spencer should weigh in. Sessions should weigh in. I think Shelby should weigh in. I think these guys ought to have some say.
Well, they know what the temperature is up there and who would be best suited to be in that atmosphere.
Well, the other thing is I know that Shelby gets to weigh in on who's the U.S. attorney picks. And I think Matt Hart has earned the right to be the U.S. attorney somewhere in Alabama, even though people like BCA and Alf would like to see him be the Attorney General of Timbuktu.
Yes.
One person I don't think they'll seek advice from would be Martha Roby.
Yeah, I think Martha's kind of out.
Martha Roby cooked her goose with that statement about Trump. I don't see anybody talk about her.
Well, I mean, and she was kind of having some problems before that too.
Yeah,
so
well, not that big, but that did it for her. You're watching The V, the voice of Alabama politics. We'll be right back with more news and analysis.
Happy holiday. Happy holiday. Happy holiday. Happy holiday. While the merry bells keep ringing, happy holiday to you. Happy holiday. Happy holiday.
Azia Medical Spa offers a relaxing experience using customized skincare treatments and full line of physician-grade products with professionals that can assist you in determining which treatment options will best help you achieve your desired results. Azia's massage therapies are popular for rejuvenation and relaxation, as well as relief of tired, aching, and sore muscles. Voted the best medical spa in Birmingham for 3 years in a row, visit aziamedicalspa.com to schedule your appointment.
Welcome back to the voice of Alabama politics. We have the Christmas tree. It's all lit up and everything like Jack on a Saturday night.
Yeah. No, I've usually done it on Friday and don't feel like doing it.
Well, Saturday is amateur hour.
No
Friday,
doubt.
Yeah, you gotta do it on Friday.
How you know you're about the time you turn 21, it's like, okay, I can only start drinking one day a week.
No,
Yeah.
listen, we went out with Jack the other night, and man, he had one drink and went home. Like, what happened to you?
Oh, Jack.
Well, you know, things do change.
They do.
Because I had him out doing karaoke at 3 a.m., so I guess I wasn't doing it
well,
right.
I didn't know about that. Anyway, speaking of toxic things we can do, the Alabama Department of Health purchased 25 acres of land from the city of Montgomery for around $625,000. And then after they'd purchased it and were going to build a lab on it, lo and behold, Jack, they found out it was a waste dump for Gunter.
Yeah, for military waste.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oops.
It just seems like somebody, before executing a deed to that property, might have been a little bit better at vetting what was there. I mean, why did the city inform the state?
It's just taxpayer money, no big deal.
ADM had looked at it. I mean, it's not like people didn't know, but somehow it just slipped through the cracks, right?
Yet that there were big ditches dug through the property where they had this waste in it.
Oh, but did they cover them over?
I'm sure they covered it up, but there has to be a record of that somewhere.
Yeah, well, the military let them know. Well, yeah, we did do that, and they put it out there when the city got it.
So now what happens?
Well,
they already bought it?
Yeah, they bought it, and they bought it in 2015, and now they're saying, well, we want other property or our money back. And Todd Strange is like, what? You knew.
No,
I mean, he
we just got rid of this property. We can't get rid of it anywhere else.
Yeah.
You got it now.
So they are playing nice and trying to figure out how they do it. But the thing is, and we haven't dug to the bottom of this yet, how did they buy $600,000 worth of property and think to build a lab on it and no one checked? Really?
I mean, because this is just, even if you're building a house, like anybody who's wanted to go through the process of building their own home knows that you have to get the land surveyed and make sure that it's not like, going to be a floodplain or something crazy. I mean, I'm not an engineer. I don't know what to ask, but I know enough to know to hire somebody who does.
Yeah.
And the state sure should know to do that.
Well, maybe they were trying to save money.
We don't do that.
If I were Todd Strain, I'd just go nana boo boo, right?
Well,
yeah, Todd Strange
there's
just got
a
his
reason
property out of
that
his
land
hands.
sat vacant for time immemorial.
Where is that land? You said you knew where it was, Jack.
It's behind Lagoon Park, between Lagoon Park and Pete Peterson Lodge, which is a facility
it's been sitting out there vacant because it's a landfill with military grade dumping stuff in it. I mean,
What
there are a lot of BIMs out there.
There could be a few BIMs.
BIMs.
Yes.
Speaking of which, I am really, really glad to say I got to interview Senator Dick Brubaker and Senator Bill Hightower, and they are going after the JIC, as Claire would say, lock, stock, and 2 barrels smoking. Right, Susan?
Absolutely. Senator Brubaker actually wants to get rid of JIC altogether with
Judicial
Inquiry Commission.
Right.
He wants to get rid of that, and I believe the COJ as well, the Court of Judiciary, along with it. He wants to disband everything. That's what his pre-file bill says. Senator Bill Hightower's bill basically brings it under the regulation of any other elected official would face in removal from office. So that would put it more in the legislature.
It does keep the JIC, but it still has to pass.
There's got to be a better way than giving the legislature anything else to do in this state.
Yeah, well,
because they'll find a way to screw it up.
Exactly. Well, and for the concept of the separation of powers here, like the legislature can't have full control over judges and their rulings. I mean, that's just not acceptable constitutionally. So we've got to find a way that the judicial branch can check itself internally while in that big picture of checks and balances.
Well, we do need, the JIC is like, Judicial Inquiry Commission is sort of like a grand jury.
Right. It is.
They investigate complaints, and then if they feel it's warranted, they pass the complaint up to the Court of the Judiciary.
Yeah.
And they hold a hearing, and that's what they did to Moore.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But I just think the JIC needs to be more open and transparent.
They are not transparent or open. When we called over there almost a year ago to find out who was on the Judiciary Inquiry Commission, they said they couldn't tell us.
Yeah.
You don't know?
You go to their website.
No, wait a minute. You don't know? No. I can't tell you. I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah, and that's ridiculous. I mean, that'd be like, if you're going to impeach the president, the Senate is the one that hears it, but then you've got, or the House hears it, but you've got open proceedings there. Right. Anybody can go in and hear it. Anybody knows who the House members are that are doing it. So there's got to be some kind of open transparency where the public can watch what's happening. Otherwise, what do you?
Susan, I apologize. I cut you off.
Oh, no, that's fine. I think Hightower just leaves most of that in place.
He does.
But they don't. The Court of the Judiciary doesn't actually get to make the final decision or execute whatever the decision is.
Yeah, it has to go to 2/3 of the House.
Now, Moore has appealed the ruling of the Court of Judiciary up to the Supreme Court, right?
And
they've all recused.
And that's the standard procedure here. Now, 38 states have a similar situation where it's 2/3. They also, though, they have a situation where it goes from a Judiciary Committee up to the Supreme Court. Now, one of the more interesting, and the Supreme Court decides whether to take it up or not. You don't have a special court. None of them have a proceeding for how to get rid of a Supreme Court justice. Now, it's concluded that you could do it under those rules. I think it might be interesting that you look at it and say, okay, the JIC does the investigation, but then it has to go to the Attorney General for prosecution.
Or
That's
the U.S.
a different
Supreme Court.
switch. Yeah.
Or the U.S. I mean, the U.S. Supreme Court has the authority to hear appeals from the Supreme Court in the states. Why would this not be, in that sense, a Supreme Court issue in the state that the U.S. Supreme Court would then go here?
It could ultimately, I would imagine.
Some smart people should figure it out, I hope. Who knows? You never know.
Now, isn't there a provision in there also dealing with just because a justice is accused doesn't mean they got automatically suspended?
Right. Normally, they're automatically suspended under statute. Hightower's bill would, of course, do away with that. Brubaker's bill does away with the whole thing.
Well, those are two smart guys.
Yeah,
so
they are.
They'll figure it out.
And they are tough and honest.
And they're the ones you don't have to go looking for the money in the background. They're all about doing the right thing.
And we still hear that Senator Brubaker's in the hunt for the Senate seat. I mean, that he's not asking for it, but that Bentley is looking at him. And I think he may be inclined to run too, just like Luther. Yeah. Wouldn't give me heartburn.
It'd be a free-for-all.
Anyway, that'd be a lot of money. Hopefully there's a lot of advertising. Well, we're going to have to leave it right there. You've been watching the voice of Alabama politics. You watch us because we watch them.